All right, now I'm unmuted. Hey everybody, Rorree here. Welcome to my channel, Totally Rorree International. And don't forget about Roses, Lavender, and Sage. All right, don't forget about that, my private channel as well. For those of you who do not know, we're a spiritually based community. We usually just cater to women. However, we have now opened things up for men and women, and the community for both is called the Sages. So if you're interested in connecting with people who are kind of like me, you know, if you vibrate with me as you watch me, definitely come over and join our private community. In our private community, we have the ability to go deeper into things. It is a spiritually based organization. So if you need any type of exemptions, you know, we won't go into what kind of exemptions, but we do have exemptions in our community for things that are going on right now. I don't know what you want to call them, jibber jabbers or whatever. If that's something that you maybe do not believe in, definitely join us over there in the conversations. And, you know, we feel that you have free will, and we will not discriminate against you, but we definitely preach and teach alternative wellness and healing. And I have been consistent with this throughout the years. And and this is not the first spiritually based organization that I've had. I've been having spiritually based organizations since 2000. Wait a minute, when did we start? I think not 2000. It was, might have been 2005, I think. I can't recall, honestly. I can't recall when we started our mission here. And the name has changed, but you know, I'm still on the same journey. So anyway, if you need any kind of spiritually based exemption for certain things, you can definitely check us out over there as well. The link is in the description box, and you can look at my link trees wherever you are and go to Roses, Lavender, and Sage, and you would join the Sage Circle. All right, so we are continuing with our series on the Four Agreements. The Four Agreements. It's a book, but I found these cards. I thought they were so cool. I found these little reflection cards. And so the agreement that we're going to talk about today is being impeccable with your word. The same one, the same agreement series as the last one. So, okay, so this one says, create a beautiful dream. Oh, wow. Create a beautiful dream. I'm definitely into that. I love dreaming. Oh boy, I love dreaming. I love vision boards. I love vision boxes. I love journaling, speaking, affirmations. I love dreaming. You know, I love putting out there into the universe exactly what it is that you desire, and then allowing it to manifest right before your eyes, like you're in a movie watching yourself walk through a movie, which is your journey. So anyway, create a beautiful dream. All right, so your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. That is so true. Impeccability of the word only creates beauty, love, and heaven on earth. Your word can create the most beautiful dreams, or your word can destroy everything around you. Impeccability of your word only creates beauty, love, and heaven on earth. All right, I like that. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I saw something moving on my screen. I'm like, what in the heck is that? But anyway, that is so true. Your word is your wand, as Florence Scovel says. That's my lady. So anyway, it's so important to be impeccable with your word, and to know that what you think about you bring about, and what you speak about you really bring it about, and give it some energy, you're really going to bring that about. So be careful what you say. I know too often people say negative little derogatory things about their children when their children are doing childlike things. You might say stuff about that child. Like I have one girlfriend, it used to be kind of funny, but not, because she used to always say about her son, he's about that life. And, at the time, I'm like maybe 15, 20 years older than her. So I really didn't know what that meant. I was like, about that life? What does that mean? But she used to always say he's about that life. I said, girl, you better stop saying that before he turned out to be about that life. Okay. So anyway, but it's so real. It's so, because you speak those things into existence. And when you're speaking things over your children and they're not really high vibrational things, you actually will manifest those things in your children. If you keep calling your child dumb or stupid or something like that, your child is going to be imprinted with those words that he is dumb, or he or she is dumb or stupid, So you've really got to be careful, especially parents. But for real, be careful with yourselves, because we say flipping things about ourselves all the time, and that's something that has to be watched. We can't be doing that. You got to watch what you say about yourself, because what you speak, you will bring it into fruition, unless you're trying to manifest that. Now, I know that when I manifest, I notice, and this is funny because I noticed that when I would be upset, like angry, like whatever I was looking to manifest would just come. And I was like, that's interesting. The moment I get all angry and upset, then I manifest what I was fussing with God about. But if I say, oh, well, I would love to do this, like it take 10 years. And then I remember one time I went to see Anthony Robbins. I've seen him a few times. I remember back in the day, it was my thing. This is part of and this is when I'm not even gonna say that. Okay, so back in the day, and I used to go to some type of retreat, spiritual event, empowerment event, something like that, at least every 3 to 4 months. I was at something, some kind of convention, conference, spiritual retreat, something. It was always like 3 days, at least 3, 4, 5, 7, 3 weeks, whatever. Always did this, right? For this period of time. I called myself being on a spiritual pilgrimage for a few years. And so anyway, so I saw Anthony Robbins one time, and I remember at this particular event, he taught us how to, I forget how we used to do it. We used to rev up, and then we like had to throw our hand out or something. I forget what we were doing, but the point was, the point of the exercise was to generate the power and electricity within, and then excel it, push it out your hand. But what you were really doing was you were giving energy and power to whatever it was you were trying to manifest. So it connected. I was like, man, that is how things work better for me. It's when I give it some juice. You in the car, you got to give it some juice, and then it's going to go. Okay. Well, that's just like your manifestations. When you want them to go, you give it some energy. I know I saw this little clip. I really wasn't vibrating with it. I really didn't like it, even though it's sort of true. But I really didn't like it because there's you can do things in different ways, and it was being taught to children to use their anger um, to be better at basketball, you know. And I was just like, okay, you know, but that the energy of the anger directed at what it was you were trying to accomplish can help manifest what it is. But you could do the same thing with love, with laughter. You could do it. You know, I could say it might be easier with anger, but because it's easier to have a heightened emotional state when you're upset. But you could have that same heightened emotional state with love. You can. And love actually vibrates higher. So if you want to manifest what you desire, use a higher energetic frequency and give that all your energy, force, and might, you know, versus the anger. But I'm telling you, they both work, you know, and I'm not trying to judge either way you do it, you know. And I have just been totally honest with you about both ways. I'm just being honest, okay? So so I would encourage to use your love as your passion, you know. um if you're using the anger, you must be careful. Okay, you must be careful of the words that are coming out your mouth. Like how Chris Tucker said, where be careful or something. Where is this coming out of my mouth? Whatever he be saying. I don't know what the hell he be saying. But something about the words be coming out his mouth. You better be careful. The words that come out your mouth when you're angry because you're upset and you're giving it energy, and you might say things that you desire, and you might shoot a rocket into the manifestation of what you just said. So be careful of doing things in anger. You know, even when I do ritualistic works and things of that nature, if I am angry, I will wait. I'm not doing nothing while I'm angry, because I've accidentally done things when I was angry, and I've seen the manifestations of those things, and I don't like that, because I don't wish harm on others, you know. And so before I will act, I will calm down, you know. And now, like, I don't know the last time I've been angry. I don't really get angry like that anymore. I don't know. I'm sure something can make me angry. I don't know. But because I am definitely not perfect. So yeah. I don't even know how I went there. But I hope you got something out of that. All right. So and we will have to do some classes on manifesting with love. Okay. You can, though, you know, you can even use sexual energy to manifest. Now, that's some good energy to use to manifest. Okay. All right. And I even, there's a young lady on my stars. Her name is Miss Calvin. And I mean, I won't go into that because I hope to be one of the first people to bring her out, to introduce her. But she has a whole program on I'm not even, because I can't give away the name of the program or anything, but it's using your sexual energies, your feminine wilds, your masculine wilds to manifest in an amazing way, you know. And so, and that's fun, you know what I'm saying? That's a fun way to manifest. So you can use that, you know what I mean? And you can use the sexual energy to bring out the loving vibrations. How about that? If you don't really know how to ramp up that love energy, you know? So anyway, so tantric methods are really powerful, you know, if you want to manifest. So anyway, let's get off of that subject. That was fun. Your word. Okay, so yeah, just remember your words can create good things or they can create bad things. They can create both. They can create positivity or negativity. Your words can stunt your growth. Your words can make you go backwards, you know. So can your thought. But once you tap them thoughts and turn them into words, that makes it even worse. Or it could go the opposite way and you can manifest amazing things with your words, you know. So you know we are into vibrating high, keeping that frequency vibrating high. So I prefer to use positivity for manifestations. All right, now let's get into the forgiveness. I forgive myself for not speaking up. This seems just like, oh my stars, what is going on here? Okay, I think this must be the energy of the collective because I feel like, is this like the same thing? But you know, and I didn't pick these cards, they jumped out. So anyway, I forgive myself for not speaking up about what I think and how I feel when I had the chance. I'm gonna read it again. I forgive myself for not speaking up about what I think and how I feel when I had the chance. That's really important. You know, um, oftentimes people, they regret not saying something, they regret not doing something. Um, you know, they just regret because they might not have spoken up or they might not have shown up the way they knew they should have. And then the time has passed, and it's so important, especially now with people dying a lot. A lot of people are passing over to the other side, you know. And if you have not spoken your piece, then maybe you should, because you know, tomorrow is not promised to any of us. It's not promised. So, so definitely forgive yourself for not speaking up in the past, but you definitely should speak up so that you're not left with regrets. That's just important. Unless it's not that important. Okay. But okay. So repeat after me. I forgive myself for not speaking up about what I think and how I feel when I had the chance. Now, sometimes you might not be in a position to speak up. Like, let's say it's your job or something. You might think, I know I often think, you know, this is just a quality of Rorree. I often think that things that people do are like stupid or special. You know, I'd be like, that was special. Um, and I might say it in my head, or you might read it all over my face. Um, and you might not be in a position where you could really speak up about that because maybe the special person is your boss or something. I don't know. Maybe the special person is the director of a company or a director of the government agencies, or I don't know, anything. You know what I'm saying? But you might not be in that position. So so forgive yourself for not being in a position to speak up the way you want to speak up, you know. And in situations like that, you might just want to release the energy of those situations, like creating and destroying roses or something. That's one of the things that we teach in our community. You know, you create a rose for the situation, you release the energy of that situation into the rose, and then you blow the rose up, you destroy the rose to release that energy from your space, because feelings buried alive never die. And if you have these words and these emotions stuck to these words buried here in your throat, because you don't feel like you can or whatever speak up, then those words will remain buried here, and then they could travel around, they can move around. Some of the work that I do, one of the practices that I do when you're visiting with me, and I do it long distance as well, it's called flow trition, where it's a spinal practice. It's kind of like a chiropractic practice, but it's alternative. So I am not a chiropractor, but I do work with the energies, the etheric energies, everything. Anyway, but I work with the spine. And when you don't release something, when you don't release the emotion, it goes into your nerve endings in your spine. And the longer it sits there and you have not resolved this matter, this thing will grow. And so first it's an emotion, so it might appear invisible. And then it starts to grow. And then it feels like maybe, oh, my back hurts, oh, my muscle, I think I pulled a muscle. And it's really that thing, that emotion, because you didn't let that energy out, and it's just sitting there on your spine, growing. Then next thing your vertebrae might be pulled this way or pulled out of whack or whatever, and you're really having pain and things of that nature. So anyway, so forgive yourself if you have held back, but I encourage you to release, the energies of things that bother you if you're unable to speak about those situations. Okay, so then the next part of this card says, I choose to believe that the discomfort created by not having taken initiative then is the growth factor that has allowed me to garner the strength and courage to speak my truth today. Ashe, ashe. I know back in the day, I held my tongue a lot, and and then there were some times where I didn't hold my tongue at all, and now, I don't bury feelings. I definitely don't do that. But and I might not say everything that I think either, but I'm not going to bury it, and I do speak and live my truth. Sometimes I just don't have to say anything. You know what I mean? That's just my choice. I choose, it's not even worth it, because I pick and choose my battles or my scenarios. If I choose to not have this scenario, then I just choose not to have that. I don't want to have that discussion, and so it's not that I'm not speaking up. Maybe I just don't want to speak up. I choose not to. Maybe I could see the forest through the trees, and I could see one thing that leads to the next, so this can go different ways. All right, so now let's just go repeat after me. I forgive myself for not speaking up about what I think and how I feel when I had the chance. I choose to believe that the discomfort created by not having taken initiative then is the growth factor that has allowed me to garner the strength and courage to speak my truth today. Ashe. So definitely speak your truth. Don't be rude though, and just know that does your truth always need to be spoken? Because some people always gotta say something. Does your truth have to be spoken? If it doesn't have to be spoken, if nobody's gonna die, if you don't get this off your chest, do you have to get that off your chest? Does it, like, are you gonna bury it? Or, because some people just say stuff about everything. And it's like, oh my God, really? So I don't know. So I feel like you should use your own discernment when it's time to speak your truth and when it's not. Yeah, use your own discernment. Okay. Because speaking your truth is great, but being an asshole is not so great. I hope you enjoyed that. I had fun. I will see y'all in the next one. Ashe, ashe, ashe.